get it. 79 Whistle Vista, Molly McGee speaking.
Hi, Molly, it's Dennis.
Huh?
It's Dennis Daly. I would have loved to have been on your show years ago, but the best I can do is kind of go back through history and play your shows this year. You understand how that works, don't you?
Oh, sure, I realize how those things happen.
Okay then, Molly, I better get this program put together. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.
Who'd you say it was, Molly? Anybody we know?
Dennis.
Decent sort of a chap. Generous and a good neighbor.
It was one of the longest-running and best-loved shows in the history of radio. Throughout the 1930s, then through the war years, and into the 50s, Jim and Marion Jordan, as Fibber McGee and Molly, brought a little bit of mid-America into our living rooms every week. Their radio home at 79 Wistful Vista was visited by an array of zany characters and lovable guests. Their jokes and running gags, including Fibber's famous overpacked hall closet. Dennis Daly looks at the evolution of this historic radio series in a salute to Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hi and hello again, everybody. And during this series, we're looking at one of the most successful radio shows of all time. If you have never heard an episode of Fibber McGee and Molly before, you have a real treat. For decades, the show made us laugh, brought us through World War II and much of the Depression, and on into the 50s and 60s. Now sit back and enjoy 2 episodes of Fibber McGee and Molly. But now let's move to the last year that the show was a half an hour long. And that was the year sponsored by Reynolds Aluminum. It might be fun to listen to a couple of those shows, if for no other reason than the sound quality is so much better. So the cast is still there, including the venerable Harlow Wilcox. It's Fibber McGee and Molly from 1953.
The Reynolds Aluminum Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The Reynolds Metals Company, makers of Reynolds Aluminum, presents Fibber McGee and Molly, transcribed with Bill Thompson, Arthur Q. Bryant, Dick LeGrand, Jane Avello, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. This is Armistice Day, and the founding of what is now the Reynolds Metals Company took place shortly after the first commemoration of that day. What a change in those 30-odd years. Then, the age of aluminum was in its infancy. Aluminum was still scarce and expensive. Now you see aluminum everywhere. The farm buildings of America gleam with Reynolds lifetime aluminum roofing and siding. And wherever you see it, you know the farmer is raising more food for the nation and making more profit for himself. Rust-proof aluminum lasts longer without painting, cuts the cost of farm operation. And it reflects heat, keeping livestock and poultry cooler in summer, warmer in winter, to produce more milk, more eggs, more meat. Farmers, ask your dealer for Reynolds Lifetime Aluminum Corrugated or 5V Crimp. Look to aluminum for progress, and look to the Reynolds Metals Company for progress in aluminum. Attention, all society editors. Here is an item you may have missed. The ladies of the Wistful Vista Poetry and Pinochle Club will meet this afternoon at the home of Mrs. McGee, of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, dear, there are times when I wish I wasn't a social leader. The ladies will be here at 4 o'clock, and that only leaves me 7 hours to clean this house.
Well, now, don't you worry, Tootsie. You ain't facing this job alone. You got me on your team, ready and eager to get in there and pitch. What you want me to do?
Lift your feet so I can sweep under your chair.
Both feet together or one at a time?
One at a time will do. I don't want you to strain yourself.
Oh, it's no strain. It ain't as if I had my shoes on. Sweep away, kiddo.
Thank you. I want to have this house just spotless today.
Yeah?
All of my very closest friends will be here, poking around in the corners for dust and looking into all my closets.
No, don't you worry about the hall closet. I'll take care of that for you. They won't find anything mussed up in that hall closet when I get through with it.
Good. You'll straighten it out, will you?
No, I'll nail it shut. I'm going to help you make this coffee pot the most sensational social success of the society season. Look, how'd you like for me to entertain the girls?
By doing a disappearing act.
No. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll juggle.
No, McGee, please.
You know, I used to be quite a juggler when I'm Fred Nittany, the guy that him and me had a vaudeville act together from Starved Rock, Illinois together, played in vaudeville.
I know.
Together.
You've broken most of my good plates proving that.
Me and old Fred used to juggle 5 baseballs and a beaver hat, while we did a buck and wing and drew pictures of Teddy Roosevelt on each other's shirt front. We got a beaver hat?
No, dearie, we're entirely out of beaver hats.
Yeah, what a shame.
There was an old one hanging in the garage for a while, but Toops' bird dog pointed it last fall, and Uncle Dennis shot it.
Kill it, did he?
I guess so. It's gone.
Oh.
If you really want to help me, you can do something for me.
Yeah?
Run up to the attic and dust off that old easy chair up there.
Okay, then bring it down here, huh?
No, just sit down in it and stay there till the party's done.
Hey, I got an idea.
Take it to the attic with you.
Wait till you hear it, Tootsie. I'll make this party the talk of the town. I'm going to whip you up a batch of my own special fruit punch.
Fruit punch?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'll just order some root beer.
This is my own private recipe that it makes all the other fruit punches taste like they were made out of turnip tops, tire tubes, and tore-up turkey's towels. It's terrific.
Where did you get this remarkable recipe? Make it up?
No, I got it from my Uncle Sycamore. He used to run a saloon out west.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the ladies would care for any barroom beverages.
Oh, the fruit punch ain't alcoholic. Uncle Sick invented it for the wives who dropped in to pick up their husbands. Where's my hat? I'll run down to Rocco's fruit stand and get the stuff.
No, McGee, no. Some other time. I'll be fixing sandwiches and things in the kitchen, and I can't have you...
I won't get in your way, baby. You just relax. Just get the punch bowl out, and I'll make it upstairs in our bedroom.
Well, I don't know. Come in.
Hello there, kids. Hi, daughter. Hi, Johnny.
Well, good morning, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi, say, Molly's throwing a hen party today, and I'm making the fruit punch. You want to come back tonight? I'll save you some.
No, that's mighty neighborly of you, Johnny. I'm real fond of fruit punch. It's so easy to chew.
You'll go for this recipe. I got it from my Uncle Sycamore. He used to own a kind of a scotch and soda fountain out west.
Is that so? Say, I wonder if you ever knew Papa.
Your papa?
Papa owned a saloon out west, too, out in the desert.
Is that so?
Called it the Old Usis.
Don't you mean the Oasis?
Nope, the Old Usis. Fellas used to stand out in front, and when a girl walked by, they'd holler, "Oh, you, sis."
Never heard Uncle Sick mention him.
Well, Papa's place was famous for the drinks he mixed, Johnny. The specialty of the house was his triple-strength martini, served with an olive and an eye shade.
What was the eye shade for?
So you wouldn't get none in your eye when the olive exploded.
Well, that was pretty courteous service.
Your father sounds like a fairly rugged character.
Yep, Papa was a true Westerner, daughter. Worked out there for 40 years and hated every minute of it. I'll never forget the day Papa come home and the present he brought for Mama.
What'd he bring her?
Just exactly what Mama had never wanted, kids. A stuffed buffalo from the front yard.
My goodness, what an unusual gift.
Well, sir, Papa loved that buffalo just like a brother.
He did, eh?
Mm-hmm. In fact, the resemblance between them was rather striking.
Well.
Except for the ears, of course. Papa's ears were groupier.
Oh. More like
And
a
he
cock.
kept that thing right in the front yard all the time?
That he did, daughter. We had a bad winter that winter, too,
Yeah?
I mind the first night Papa was home, we had a snowfall that was ham-high to a tall giraffe.
Yeah. Well, I got to get down to the fruit stand, so
When
you...
Papa woke up and seen he couldn't see his buffalo, we grabbed a couple of shovels and we went to work.
Must have been a job digging it out.
Wasn't bad, daughter. Me and Papa worked out a little dance routine with the shovels.
Dance routine?
Yep. Papa shoveled the snow off the sidewalk, and I just shoveled off the buffalo. I think I'll do the same right now, kids. Come on.
Billy Mills in the orchestra, and When You Wore a Tulip.
Hi, Rocco. How's it going, boy?
Well, it's a Signora McGee. Long time I no look about you, Signor.
Yeah. Well, I ain't been around lately. Fruit business doing okay?
Oh, just about the same, Signor. I sell a banana here, a banana there, a grapefruit to someplace else.
Now that all adds up.
Oh, sure. Adds up to 2 bananas and a grapefruit.
What you got that's good today? I'm going to make a punch.
Please, Signor, don't pinch the fruit.
I didn't say pinch. I said punch.
Pinch, punch, please, don't put your hands on the fruit.
Oh, gosh. I ain't going to hurt your fruit. All I want to do is feel to see if it's right.
Sure, you got a very strong feel. The last time you feel the grapefruit, you squeeze so hard. When you pull them back, she's a lemon.
That's a lot of hooey, Rocco, and you know it. Hey, those grapes look pretty good.
Please, Signor McGee, don't touch the grapes.
Take it easy, Rocco. I ain't going to squash them. Whoop.
You want to wipe your hand on my apron?
Cheap grapes. All right. Fell apart as soon as I put a finger on them. Let's have a look at these oranges.
Good, Signor McGee. Sweet, Signor McGee. Look, I don't feel.
I just want to see if they're good and solid. My gosh. They just don't make oranges like they used to.
Some days when you get out of bed, they don't pay to wake up.
Hi, Molly. I'm back.
Don't go out in the kitchen, McGee. I just mopped that floor.
Okay, I got the fruit for the fruit punch. Where's the punch bowl?
Upstairs, and do be careful now, because
Don't you worry. This will be the most delicious drink them frumpy friends of yours ever dunked a hand in. Clear to the elbow. Trying to pick out a cherry.
Well, that's very beautifully put there. Now I've got work to do.
Yes, sir. McGee's Fruit Punch. Specially prepared to please the most particular palates, perk up the proceedings, and prove to us very in pinochle playmates that when you plan a party with a punch, because the punch you put in the party you plan is the punch your husband. Oh, you busy, baby?
I still have to wax the furniture and wash the woodwork before the ladies get here.
Well, I'm going upstairs and get to work.
Good.
And if anybody wants to see me, I ain't in. When I make my famous fruit punch, I got to be left alone, like an old master painting his Muriel.
Hi-ho, hi-ho. Off to work we go.
Ah, there goes a good lad. Little on the corny side, but just as sweet as his punch probably won't be. Well, I better get at the woodwork. I've just got 3 hours now.
Hello, Molly. Hi. Hey, no pal to say hi to.
Come in, Mr. Wilcox. McGee's very busy with a project upstairs. Says he isn't going to let anything disturb him.
Well, don't bother him on my account, Molly. I admire anybody who can really concentrate. Shut out the world around him.
Thought I heard voices down here. Who came? Oh, it's you, Junior.
Hello, pal.
I thought nothing was going to disturb you, dearie.
Oh, I had to see who was talking. My guy supposed it had been a hold-up man come to rob us.
Speaking of hold-up, man, do you realize it won't be long before you'll be having your Thanksgiving dinner?
What's that got to do with the hold-up?
Well, I've seen you try to walk after a Thanksgiving dinner, pal. Takes 2 men to hold you up.
Ah, bless his heart. He does enjoy Thanksgiving, Mr. Wilcox.
And he'll enjoy it even more if you roast your turkey in Reynolds Wrap. That pure aluminum foil made by the Reynolds Metals Company. Yes, sir. This year again, every well-dressed bird will go into the oven wearing foil.
Curses. Foil again.
There's one thing about using Reynolds Wrap that may surprise you, pal. When you roast the bird in foil, you actually get more meat for the table.
More drumsticks? Because I know how you can get 4 drumsticks for Thanksgiving. Bake a rabbit on account of a...
All right, kids. Don't forget to roast your Thanksgiving turkey in Reynolds Wrap. And look, to make sure of a perfect dinner, you can get a free turkey recipe from the Reynolds people.
Oh?
Yes. All you do is write turkey on a postcard with your name and address and send it to Reynolds Metals Company, Louisville 1, Kentucky. That's Reynolds Metals Company, Louisville 1, Kentucky.
Well, thanks for the tip, Mr. Wilcox. That's thanks for the tip, Mr. Wilcox.
And remember, you don't even have to baste the bird. You don't have to watch it or worry about burning when you use Reynolds Wrap, the original and genuine, the pure aluminum foil.
You really love that stuff, don't you, boy?
I certainly do.
I can just see you on Thanksgiving Day, taking your turkey out of the oven, throwing it away, and eating the Reynolds Wrap.
Pal, I won't even comment on that one.
Very good.
There are times when, as the old saying goes, silence is aluminum.
Oh, Mr. Wilcox, silence is golden.
I know, Molly, but I hate to mention such a second-rate metal. So long, kid.
Well, I hope people leave me alone now. It takes a lot of nerve to bust in on a guy like that when he's making fruit punch for his wife.
Mr. Wilcox didn't call you downstairs, dearie. It was your own idea.
That's rather shame, the way us creative geniuses ain't allowed to have any peace. Reminds me of Jason Quelch, an inventor we had back in Peoria. I ever tell you about Jason?
Yes.
How he worked on an invention for 6 years behind locked doors and wouldn't let nobody in?
Yes.
And how a salesman finally sneaked in the window and tried to sell him a vacuum cleaner?
Yes.
And how Jason got up in disgust because a vacuum cleaner was what he was trying to invent?
Yes.
Well, I guess there ain't much use telling it to you again.
Go make your fruit punch.
Okay, right away, kiddo. And this time you couldn't budge me if you set off a charge of TNT in my trouser pocket. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
He's off to work. Toiling over a bowl of fruit punch while all I have to do is clean up this house, get the lunch ready, and get dressed. Well, they say it's a man's world, and I won't argue. Oh, dear, another interruption. Come in.
Good afternoon, Molly.
Oh, good afternoon, Dr. Gamble. Excuse the way I look. I'm cleaning house.
You look wonderful to me, my dear. A normal, healthy woman with no complaints is quite a treat to these tired old eyes. Speaking of complaints, where is he?
McGee? Oh, well, he's working on something upstairs, Doctor. He's trying to concentrate.
Concentrate, huh? Something difficult, I suppose, like trying to lace his shoes without help.
No, as a matter of fact...
I heard that, Fatso. I can lace my shoes.
Well, look who's here, little rabbit ears. Comes tripping down the stairs like Cinderella in a pair of cast-iron slippers.
Very comical.
Yes.
Good, clean fun with old Doc Yak.
What's new with you, Doctor, besides the day's deliveries?
Well, I went to a rather interesting wedding this morning, Molly.
Huh?
Dr. Hartley, an intern at the hospital, married Doris Callahan, a lovely young nurse.
Oh, how sweet. Have they been going together a long while?
No, in fact, we didn't suspect anything until Dr. Hartley sewed up his last 3 patients so that the stitches spelled out Doris.
Lucky it was a short name. A name like Gwendolyn could get around to where it might be kind of painful.
Was it a church wedding, Doctor?
No, they were both on duty, so it was held at the hospital with all the doctors on the staff present.
Oh.
Oh, it was quite a sight when the happy couple walked down the aisle of the lumbago ward under an arch of crossed stethoscopes.
It must have been.
Naturally, we had no pipe organ, so the music was furnished by a badly mixed quartet.
Mm-hmm.
They sang special songs suited to the occasion, such as Pale Hands I Love, Inside the Rubber Glove. And I'll Be With You in Appendectomy Time.
There's nothing like a bit of sentiment.
No. Everything went smoothly until the groom started to put the ring on the bride's finger.
Oh?
Then he noticed a small wart on the second joint and wanted to stop and remove it.
Did they ever get pronounced doctor and nurse?
Yes, the ceremony is completed, and they left immediately for the maternity ward where she helped him deliver a pair of twins.
What a honeymoon.
Well, I call it a splendid start, my dear. At least all their troubles were someone else's little ones. See you soon.
Well, Tootsie, I'm happy to report that the fruit punch is practically dead.
Well, I should hope so. You went back to Rocco's twice for more fruit.
No, don't worry about that. The fruit won't cost us anything. I'm going to sue Rocco and get back every cent I paid him.
Sue him for what?
Damages, that's for what. My hands got tired pinching all them oranges and lemons, so I sat down to rest him.
Well?
One of his dad-ratted pineapples was in the chair. I'm going to haul him into court for selling unconcealed weapons.
You just get on your job, dearie. The girls will be here soon. I still have to finish dusting.
Okay, like I said, the punch is just about ready. All I got to do now is pour in some stuff I ordered from Kramer's drugstore. Did they deliver a package?
Yes, right here on the hall table.
Good. Better see if you forgot anything. 4 bottles of ginger ale. 2 bottles of sarsaparilla. 1 bottle of iodine. Well, that checks.
McGee, I can understand the ginger ale and sarsaparilla, but surely your recipe doesn't include iodine.
No, Mrs. McGee, it don't. Weren't you listening when I told you about the pineapple in the chair? Well, here I go with the finishing touches. Hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
Well, thank goodness I'm nearly finished, too. I'll give this hall a lick and a promise and get myself cleaned up. I'm a mess. Oh, now, if this is one of the girls coming early, I'll be disgraced. Come in, anyhow.
Well, good afternoon, Mrs.
Oh, good afternoon, Ollie. Come in.
Thank you. My, it's quiet in here. Is the fella at the house taking a nap?
No, my club is meeting here today. McGee's upstairs fixing some punch, and I'm cleaning the house. Would you pardon me if I finish my dusting?
Oh, go right ahead, Mrs. I was just passing by and thought I wouldn't. You can tell McGee I was coming by.
Hey, I heard voices down here. Who came? Who? Oh, it's only you, Ollie.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, McGee.
Yeah, but I didn't mean...
Well, maybe I better stay home because I ain't a celebrity.
No, I didn't mean...
Would you like me to put on a skirt and sweater and call me Ole Monroe?
Now, Ollie, he's really glad to see you. Now, you boys stand back and let me at this furniture.
Gee, kiddo, you're sure knocking yourself out for that bunch of dames.
Well, I'm almost through now, dearie. And besides, the exercise is good for my figure.
Oh, don't talk in front of me about exercise, Mrs. At my house, that's a bad board.
Why, Ollie?
Well, me and the missus was down at Kramer's drugstore last week, and she gets on a weighing machine. She reads the little card that comes out and gives a screech like a stepped-on cat.
What was on the card?
That's what I wanted to know, so I look at it. The card says you will soon make a long journey. So I say, stop worrying, missus, we just won't go.
Oh. I bet that wasn't what upset her, though.
You're right, missus. It was the rate on the other side, 162.
Well, now, that's not so bad. She's a big woman.
That's very true. When I come home and say, where are you, sweetheart, it's just from habit. We got a small house, and she stands out as plain as the grand piano.
That she figured she was getting too heavy?
Yes, she said she was going to take exercise, and so was I, to keep her company.
Oh?
Next morning, she jumps out of bed and touches her toes 20 times. Then she tells me to do it.
And did you?
Sure, used to keep peace in the family, but by George, I feel silly touching her toes.
Yeah, but Ollie, that ain't what she...
With all this exercise, I get so hungry I could eat a horse. So what do you think the missus gives us for dinner?
Roast horse?
No, lettuce. Little leaves of lettuce with scraped carrots on top.
Oh, my goodness, how long did this go on?
Till I couldn't stood it any longer.
Yeah?
In the middle of the night, I remember there's leftover wheel chops in the icebox.
Oh.
So I sneaked down there, and I used to get my hooks on the wheel shop and inbox my missus.
Uh-oh.
She says, shame on Ole Swenson. Why don't you stay on the diet like me? Missus, I say, you're just plain stronger than I am, that's all.
What'd she do?
Then she proved she was stronger, all right. She wrestled me for the wheel shop and eat it herself. That's so long, both you fellas.
Well, kiddo, I came down here to tell you that the fruit punch is all done.
Good.
And I'm quick to admit it's the best I ever made. You're going to be mighty glad you didn't serve them women root beer.
Well, thank goodness I'm all finished, too.
Good.
Just look at this house, dearie. It's spotless.
Yeah.
Though I can't say the same for myself. But what time is it?
Not half past.
Fine. The ladies won't be here for half an hour. I'm going to run upstairs and just soak in a hot tub for about 20 minutes. Oh, I can hardly wait.
Yeah. You can't do that, kiddo.
You can't take a bath? Why not?
Well, I made more fruit punch than I figured on. Turned out the punch bowl wasn't big enough.
McGee, you didn't.
Yep, in the bathtub.
No.
And wait till you see it. It looks delicious. Well, what else can I do for you before the women get here?
2 things.
Name them.
Pull out the plug and order a case of root beer.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. Did you ever stop to think how Reynolds Wrap is changing a whole nation's cooking habits? Reynolds Wrap, the original and genuine, the pure aluminum foil in handy rolls. Roasting meat in Reynolds Wrap makes the cheaper cuts juicy tender with more actual meat because there's less shrinkage. Top-grade flavor at lower cost. And, of course, turkey roasted in Reynolds Wrap has become part of the Thanksgiving tradition. So now is the time to stock up at your grocer's. He has Reynolds Wrap in the jumbo economy rolls, 75 feet, as well as the standard 25-foot rolls. And here again is how to get your recipe for turkey roasted in Reynolds Wrap. Just write Turkey on a postcard with your name and address and send it to Reynolds Metals Company, Louisville 1, Kentucky. That's Reynolds Metals Company, Louisville 1, Kentucky.
Well, it looks like your hen party was a big success, Molly.
Seemed to be. Did you ever see such a messed up house?
Yeah.
It'll take me all night to straighten up again.
Oh, while you're doing that, I'll go out to the kitchen and fix us a lemonade.
Wonderful.
I found Uncle Sycamore's lemonade recipe up in the attic while I was up there. It says take 60 pounds of lemons and a large bathtub.
Skip it.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Al.
The Reynolds Metals Company, pioneers of progress through aluminum, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Reynolds Aluminum also brings you Mr. Peepers, starring Wally Cox, on NBC television Sunday nights. See your local paper for time and channel. And don't forget to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
The preceding was transcribed. Tonight, play Two for the Money with Herb Schreiner on NBC.
You're listening to another in Dennis Daly's year-long series of salutes to one of the best-loved shows in the history of American radio, Fibber McGee and Molly. Now again, here's Dennis.
You know, by the time Fibber McGee and Molly turned the corner into the 1950s, the cast was so honed, the crew so adept at what it did, the writing so magnificent that the show was almost being done on autopilot. Here's another one of those shows from the very end of the half-hour run when things were drastically changing because of the popularity of television.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Vic LeGrand, John McIntyre, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Whenever I hear someone say, those two were made for each other, I always think of coffee and pet milk. That's right. Coffee and pet milk really are made for each other. Made to blend together perfectly for coffee that's creamy smooth, mellow, satisfying. Because pet milk is sweet country milk concentrated to double richness by evaporation, it's twice as rich in cream as ordinary milk. Yet, rich as it is, pet milk costs less than half as much as cream. So you also save money when you use pet milk instead of expensive cream in coffee. If you haven't already joined the millions of coffee lovers who enjoy coffee with pet milk, try it tomorrow, and you'll know what I mean when I say pet milk and coffee are made for each other. Bathtubs sometimes make very strange noises when the water gurgles down the drain. But the strangest noise that ever came from a bathtub sounds like this.
Oh, the moon shines tonight on pretty Red Wing.
Yes, that bathtub was occupied by Mr. McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
You know, I feel great this morning, Molly, full of vim and vinegar. Did you hear me singing up there in the bathtub a minute ago?
Singing? I thought you were drowning. I started to run upstairs and see if you were all right, but the phone rang and I had to answer.
Oh, I was okay, just singing. I often think I made a mistake not keeping on with my vocal career.
Really?
I might have been a big name in the music game like Crosby or Como or Ferdinand Dinwiddie.
Who in the world is Ferdinand Dinwiddie?
You don't know? My gosh, kiddo, you don't know much about music. You heard of Johnny Ray?
Yes.
Well, Ferdinand Dinwiddie is the guy who wrings out Johnny Ray's handkerchiefs.
Well, I apologize for not knowing him.
I almost didn't know him, too.
Also for not knowing that you ever had a vocal career.
Yeah, I did a lot of singing with Fred Nittany, the guy that I and him had a vaudeville act together from Starved Rock, Illinois.
Well, I've heard you mention him.
Yeah, I and Fred had a real novelty act. We had a little toy piano, see? And Fred hung it around his neck on a rope. I stood on my hands on Fred's hands, and he held me up in the air. Then he played the toy piano with his nose, and I sung My Mother's Eyes upside down.
That should have been a great act for Mother's Day.
We had to give it up, though. On account of when Fred held me in the air, my head was right close to his head. See?
Yes.
I had a powerful voice in them days, and My Mother's Eyes was ruining my partner's ears.
Well, maybe it's just as well you gave it up, lover. We're happy now.
But I didn't give it up right away. After me and Fred busted up, I'd done a single for a while. Billed myself as Robinson Crusoe, the warbling beachcomber.
Well, very catchy name.
Yeah, used to come on dressed in a pair of torn pants with a life preserver around my neck and carrying a canoe paddle in one hand.
A canoe paddle?
Yeah, it wasn't very dressy looking, but coming mighty handy in the small towns. I cured many an audience of pitching tomatoes by batting them back up in the balcony with a paddle. I mind one time I bunted a ripe cantaloupe into the second row and caught a fat guy right in...
Hold it, dearie. Come in.
Good morning. Is Mr. McGee here?
Yeah, I'm Mr. McGee, Bud. This is my wife, Molly McGee.
How do you do, I'm sure?
Allow me to present my card.
Oh, yes. William Harding, Apex Advertising Agency, 14th and Oak. Well, you're wasting your time, Bud. I got nothing to advertise. And if I did...
No. That's not why I'm here.
Oh?
Are you the gentleman who sings?
A good question.
Well, yeah, I warble a little now and then. Nothing fancy, just bathroom harmony.
May I hear your voice, please?
Why, sure. Why not? Oh, the moon shines tonight on pretty Red Wing.
That's it. I've been searching for. At last I've tracked you down.
Well, now, he has a right to sing in his own home.
Sure.
Nobody ever complained before and got anywhere with it.
Oh, no, Mr. McGee. You misunderstood me. I admire his voice.
You do?
Tremendously.
Hey, what is this?
I've often stood on my front porch and listened to him sing, but I could never quite place the direction his voice came from. Just a little too faint.
How far you live from here?
5 blocks.
I just ain't got the power I used to have.
Mr. McGee, I have a deal for you.
Take it.
My agency specializes in singing commercials for radio and television.
Yeah?
We record them, and they're heard in millions of homes around the country.
Yeah?
And I want you to make one for us today.
Oh, now, if this is a practical joke, Mr. Harding, I don't...
No, it's not a joke, Mrs. McGee. We're recording a commercial this afternoon, and your husband has the ideal voice for the solo part, the perfect voice.
Well, you see, kiddo? For 20 years, you've been living in a nest with a nightingale and didn't even know it.
Will you be at my office at 3 o'clock for the recording, Mr. McGee?
I'll be there, you betcha.
Thank you, sir. I'll be expecting you. Goodbye.
Well, my dear, now what you got to say?
McGee, I'm speechless.
Well, I ain't surprised. You wives are all alike, you know it? To you, a husband is only something around the house that you take for granted with pants on. It don't occur to you that we got talent.
I'm sorry, dearie. Goodness knows I never meant to underestimate you.
A woman's got a man with a voice that attracts attention 5 blocks away, but does she appreciate him? Not her. She wants to go out some enchanted evening and watch Pinz's tonsils wiggle across a crowded room. The fact that her own husband has got a...
All right.
Well...
I said I was sorry. Now let it drop before I'm sorry I was sorry. Mother thinks you're wonderful. Come in.
Good morning, Molly. McGee.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, hi, Latrivia. Boy, have I got news for you. You heard my voice?
Yes. In fact, there are times when it seems that for the past 20 years I've heard nothing else.
No, he means his singing voice, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Singing voice? Well, I must be running along. Only stopped in for a moment.
No, hey, now. Wait a minute. You ain't heard the news.
Let go of my coattail, McGee.
Okay. But listen to me, will you? You're looking at a guy that I've just been chosen to be the star soloist of a singing commercial.
You're making this up.
No. It's really true, Mr. Mayor. A man from the Apex Advertising Agency came by and hired him just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you heard me singing my favorite ditty, Latriv. Pretty Red Wing. Ah, great old song. Oh, the moon shines tonight on pretty Red Wing. How's that, boy? Won't that bring back memories the way I sing it?
Oh, yes. Yes, McGee. Memories of my boyhood.
Oh, sure.
The sound of fingernails scraping across a blackboard. The southbound freight from my hometown hitting an open switch at midnight. Memories of my dear old grandfather on Halloween, the time we set fire to his nightshirt.
I think that must be the charm of my voice, Homer. It sort of takes people back. Way back. It's got a certain something, don't you think?
Yes, I'm not certain what the something is, but oh, you've got it. And my heart bleeds for you.
The trouble with you, Latriv, is you ain't hep to music. You just don't dig my voice.
Well, I should be able to. There's certainly enough gravel in it.
Well, now, the fact remains, Mr. Mayor, he has been hired to sing this afternoon.
You betcha.
Well, you should take care of a voice like that, McGee. Watch your throat.
Yeah?
Now, I have a simple home remedy that should be just the thing for you.
Oh?
Yes, an ordinary lemon and a roll of gauze bandage.
Oh? How would he use it, Mr. Mayor? Soak the bandage in lemon juice and wrap up his throat, I suppose?
No. Just open his mouth, put the whole lemon in it, and tie it shut with the bandage.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yes. Looking at your mouth, I suppose it is. Yes, make it a grapefruit, Molly.
Billy Mills to the orchestra and Walking My Baby Back Home.
That's better.
What on earth are you doing, dearie?
Well, I'm just limbering up my larynx for the recording this afternoon. I sprayed my throat.
With what?
This atomizer here.
That's my cologne.
Oh. Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? My voice is already sweet enough.
How true.
You know, I've been giving this singing commercial racket a lot of thought, kiddo, and there's a barrel of dough in this stuff, you know it? I figure I can collect 2 ways.
2 ways?
Betcha. First, I'll make a fortune with everybody bidding against each other to make me sing for them.
Yes?
That we know. But they might run out of commercials that are good enough for me to sing.
Aha, so you've written some commercials of your own.
Ah, you said it. And they're knockouts. Listen to this one I made up for a used car dealer. Buy a car from Laughing Louie. He's the dealer that you need. Louie's motors may go bluey, but his laugh is guaranteed. You like that one, kiddo?
It's just lovely, dearie. I've never heard of Laughing Louie, though.
Well, me either, but don't worry. Once that melody gets around, 16 guys named Louis will open up car lots and start laughing.
Your brain is working overtime today.
I got another one that ought to fracture every woman that tunes in her radio. It's for reducing pills. You've heard of Dr. Jackson's pound-off pills.
No, but I bet I will.
You said it. Listen, it goes, pound-off pills are perfect for May, Mary, Maud, and Myrtle. If you don't take them every day, pop goes your girdle.
For that one. This undoubtedly.
Well, hello, Molly. Hi, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. You come just in time to get a big thrill, boy. You're looking at America's newest singing sensation.
How was that again?
This is quite a thing, Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah.
He's had an offer to do a singing commercial, and all of a sudden he's become the father of the Andrews sisters.
Oh, my gosh, it's a big honor.
Why, sure it is, pal, and I'm very happy for you. I'd ask you to do a singing commercial about the fine foods prepared with pet milk, but we don't need one.
No, we don't need it.
Every dish prepared with pet is a singing commercial in itself.
How can you call food a singing commercial, Mr.
Oh,
Wilcox?
Molly, you're sticking your neck right in the noose.
Oh.
Well, those commercials are usually sung by 3 types of voices, Molly. Tenor, bass, and baritone. When you cook your meals with pet, you get all 3 of those.
I get tenor?
Of course.
Tenor?
Sure. Pet milk dishes are not only rich and tasty, but they're economical, too.
Where's the tenor?
For a very low cost, you can whip up a delicious dish that will serve 10 or more people. This is one of them agonizing ones. Well, now, wait a minute. The bass, obviously. It's quite obvious.
Yeah. Not to me it isn't.
Well, now, wait a minute, Molly. Look, suppose a girl wants a man to propose.
Yeah?
She should fix rich desserts for him and sauces and meat gravies, all made with pet.
But what about bass?
Yeah.
Well, if she doesn't do that, she'll never get to first.
Why don't you steal home, Junior? Quietly, before you get thrown out.
Now, wait a minute, just a second. Baritone, I must admit, is a little more complicated.
More complicated?
Yes, but I'm sure I can make it clear.
Oh, I bet you can.
Yep. Pet milk is especially fine for dishes such as creamed tuna fish.
Oh?
Serve it to anyone, and they'll love it, even if they never could stand that kind of fish before.
You don't mean...
Yes, even if they never could bear a tuna. Goodbye now.
I wouldn't want to say this to Wilcox, but that poor boy ought to get himself a rider. Stuff he makes... Oh, well, it's not my problem.
Dearie, don't you think you ought to give your throat a rest before you wear it out? After all, it's just an ordinary piece of skin.
Well, don't you worry, Tootsie. Won't wear out that easy. In the days when I sung for a living, people used to say to me, McGee, they used to say to me, you must have a leather throat with lungs to match. And I still got it. And them.
Well, that's a relief.
You've read how Caruso used to show off by singing a real high note to a wine glass and busting the glass.
Yes, say, that must have been something to catch.
Once I hit a high note about C or C+, that shattered 4 water glasses simultaneous.
No, I can't believe it.
They believed it down at the Bonton department store, kiddo. Happened right there in their glassware department. Old man McDonald, the president of the Third National Bank's wife, was holding them on a tray looking at them, and I just got a sudden urge to sing.
So?
So, I stepped up behind her and cut loose with my highest note. She leapt over a showcase, and all 4 glasses splintered when they hit the concrete post. I was halfway down the edge by the time...
Come in. Well, hello, Ole.
Well, hello, Mrs., and the same to you, McGee.
Oh, hi, Ole. How's Trix?
Oh, she's fine. Just had a litter of puppies. Who did? Little Sven's dog, Trix. Didn't you ask how's Trix?
Oh, yeah, but I wasn't expecting an answer.
Are the puppies cute, Ole?
Well, they're no world beaters, Mrs. See, Trix is a poodle, and the papa was a police dog. So we was hoping the puppies would have curly hair and long, straight noses.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they got long, straight hair and curly noses.
Well, I'm no poodle, but I got some news, too. Molly and I are going downtown in a minute. I got a job as a singer. Radio.
That's so.
Yeah. Don't seem to excite you so much.
Well, I'm not much of a music lover, McGee.
Oh?
Since my Christina was a little girl and the missus says she should learn to play the violin. So to keep peace in the family, I get her one.
Was she any good as a fiddle player?
McGee, she was used plain brutal. All she could play was something they call humoresque, but I don't see nothing funny about it. All day long she scrape away on the little fiddle, squeak, 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 squeak. I want to jump out of my skin and just leave it lying on the floor.
No, you should have made her quit, Ollie. Why didn't you put your foot down?
I did, right on the fiddle.
Oh.
And that was the nicest noise it ever made.
That ended the music around your house, huh?
No. Then my boy Lars, he decided he wanted to be a musician, and he saves up and buys a tuba.
Oh, that's worse than a violin.
Yeah, uglier, too. Lars, he kept blowing away on it. Papa, papa. Lars, I say to him, one more whoop and you have trouble with your papa.
Did he give it up?
Finally, McGee. It was a hot day in July, and Lars, he blew his brains out on the tuba, but nothing comes out of it.
Oh?
So he kept on puffing till he got purple in the face, and at last something came out.
And Pa?
No, my littlest boy's friend.
Oh.
He crawled in the tuba so Lars could blow on him and make him cool.
Men and Lullaby of Broadway.
All along and listen to the Lullaby of Broadway. The hip-hooray and ballyhoo, the Lullaby of Broadway. The rumble of the subway train, the battle of the taxi, the daffodils who entertain, the Angelos and Maxie. When the Broadway baby says goodnight, it's early in the morning, and babies don't sleep tight. Until the dawn. Good night, baby. Good night. Milkman's on his way. Party's over now. Hanging over now. It's another day. Gotta hit the hay now that I'm so full of cheer. Take me home and let me hear the Broadway lullaby. Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway. The hi-ho and hullabaloo. The lullaby of Broadway. The rhythm lifts you off the ground. You feel a little bit crazy. You rock the wire, baby, round till everything goes hazy. I will buy you this and that. You'll hear Daddy saying, baby comes home to her flat to sleep all day. Good night, baby. Good night. Milkman's on his way. Good night, baby. Sleep tight. Why not call it a day? Listen, listen to the lullaby of old Broadway.
Boy, I can hardly wait to get down there and get my hands on that microphone, Molly. I'll murder them guys this afternoon.
You got the voice to do it with, too, dearie.
I bet when that guy Harding finds out I can not only sing them commercials, but I can write them for him, too, he'll want to sign me to a big contract with options every year.
You mean options?
I mean options, where the salary goes up every year. This thing today is just a start, of course. You wait till my voice hits the airwaves, kiddo. These singing commercials will sweep the country.
Well, it can stand a good sweeping, I'll admit that. But I doubt it. Oh, look who's coming. Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Oh, hi, old-timer.
Hello there, kids. What you doing downtown, daughter? Shopping?
No, we came down...
Well, they're having a big sale at the Bontown today. Here they got some mighty fine bargains.
Yeah, well, we're not...
There's in the paper. Weekend sale.
Yeah?
I'm going over there now and pick me out a nice weekend. I lost one Friday night. I ain't been able to find it. Must have mislaid it.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting. But not to us. I got to keep moving here. I'm due at the studio to make some records.
For the radio, Mr. Oldtimer. He's going to record some singing commercials.
Is that so? Well, sir, I was just saying to my girlfriend Bessie last night. Shut that thing off, Bessie, I said.
We haven't seen Bessie for ages. How is she, anyway?
Oh, Bessie's just fine, daughter. She used to be a radio singer herself at one time, you know.
Oh, is that so?
Back in the old days. Her and her sister, Essie.
Yeah?
Called themselves Bessie and Essie, the Mountain Duo. Essie played the guitar, and Bessie just sat and bellered.
Were they very successful?
Well, they would have been, daughter, but Bessie had to quit. Her voice started changing on her.
Yeah.
When she got up to sing, you couldn't tell whether she was going to sing like a soprano or like a bass.
You mean bass. A bass is a fish.
That's Bessie, all right. Had a mouth on her like a buck-toothed mackerel.
Well, she's a nice girl, and I know you're fond of her.
My gosh, you've been going with Bessie ever since we've known you. How come you two aren't married?
It's all on account of my health, Johnny.
Your health?
Yep. When I'm sick, Bessie don't want me, and when I'm well, I can outrun her.
So long. Come on, Molly, here's the place, Apex Advertising. Come on in.
You know, this is kind of exciting, dearie. Isn't this a nice office?
Yeah.
As soon as we find out what station your song will be on, I'll write Aunt Sarah and have her listen.
I wonder which one of these doors is the recording department. I'm supposed to meet Harding in recording.
Could it be that door over there, the one that says recording?
Oh, that's possible. Now let me sharpen up my tones a little first, and then we'll barge in. Oh, the moon shines tonight.
Oh, there you are, Mr. McGee. All set for you.
Okay, Harding, I'm ready. I want to tell you I've never been in better voice.
He really hasn't, Mr. Harding. He always sounds this way.
Why, he's perfect, Mrs. McGee, perfect. Come right in. You want to come with him?
Oh, I'd love to. I've never been in a recording studio before.
Oh, nice place you got here, Harding. Now, who are them guys down there by the microphone? Look like singers.
Well, that's our quartet, Mr. McGee. They'll work with you on this commercial.
Oh, swell. You hear that, Molly? He's going to use a quartet to back me up with. Sort of give me background, see?
You've got plenty of background, dearie.
Boys, this is the man I told you about. This is the voice.
At ease, boys, at ease. Just relax. Don't worry about a thing. I'll give you that smooth oil burner type of singing, Harding.
Oil burner singing?
Yep. No clinkers. My gosh, don't you get it? Clinkers are sour notes. Oil burners, no clinkers.
It ain't funny, McGee.
Well, I ain't hired to make jokes. I'm here to sing. Where's my music, boys? Give me the music, somebody.
Oh, you won't need any music for this one, Miss McGee.
Yeah?
All I want you to do is to give us that great, pretty Red Wing, just like you sang it for me today.
Yeah? Pretty Red Wing, huh?
Just exactly like you did it today.
Oh, he does that good, real good.
The boys here will sing a short verse, you see.
Yeah?
And when I throw you a cue, you take right off, McGee. You got it?
Oh, well, sure, but I...
Okay. Quiet, everybody! Ready recording? All right, boys, this is the tape. Hit it!
Oh, Fagin's famous Fido food will fill your dog with bliss. So feed him Fagin's famous food or he will sound like this.
I'll return in a moment. Hey, now, this commercial is for husbands only, especially you husbands who help with the family food shopping. When your wife isn't along to sort of keep an eye on you, I know it's a temptation to reach for this and that and not pay too much attention to the list she gave you. But please, fellas, whatever you do, don't forget the pet evaporated milk. You know what happens if there's no pet milk in the house? There's none of that good milk gravy you like with your meat and potatoes. It's pet milk that makes that gravy so good. There's no cream pie for dessert either, because without pet milk, how's your wife going to make that wonderful kind of cream pie that you like? And how about the baby? Don't you know that every day in every way your baby gets stronger and sturdier because of pet evaporated milk? Another thing, your coffee isn't going to taste half so good if there's no pet milk to put in it. I've only got a minute, or I'd tell you about dozens of ways your wife uses pet milk so you can enjoy every meal more. But take my word for it, will you, as man to man. And remember, when you do the family food shopping, be sure to take home some pet evaporated milk.
You know, it'll be fun to hear your voice on the radio anyhow, dearie, even if it is just one note.
Yeah.
Did you get paid yet?
Oh, yeah, I got paid as soon as I got through singing.
Good. How much? $2, $5, $10?
Nope. They give me an even 50, kiddo.
$50?
Cans of dog food.
Oh!
That's what I said. Good night.
Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you?
Well, there you have it this time around from 1953 in that 1-year sponsorship by Reynolds Aluminum, and from 1952, one of the shows from the 2-year sponsorship by Pet Milk. Of course, it's still difficult to think of Fibber McGee and Molly and not think of Johnson's Wax.
Next time around, Dennis will continue his look at what some say was the best series in the history of old-time radio. Fibber McGee and Molly, right here.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Morrison Bridge speaking.